Hello, 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 hello. So today is July 2nd. Time is flying, moving so fast. I am going to start today. This is my first recording. So yeah, bear with me. Uh, this is going to be fun. It is going to be straightforward. I am doing something different that I didn't plan to do. So I didn't make any plans for this recording. It's just going to be straight recording of just a thought. I just was sitting here finish up phase one for Kiko.help, which will now take over this independent platform for my first beta project, which was a Kiko help platform that stemmed off of metrepairs.com, which is a service-based website and provider. Finally decided to make a platform of its own. So this is what we are going to do today. We're going to do a screen share, just showing you what I have learned so far in Figma, which is a framing and mock-up software that allows you to put together responsive designs and planning things. So yeah, we're doing a redesign of the platform and building it on its own platform of itself. So it's going to be a web app. So we have a desktop version and a mobile version we're going to work on today. And I'm just going to do some basic layouts and making some things responsive, putting things into place and just organizing things. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. Get the screen share going. I'm in the right place. Perfect. And let's start by screen sharing. Figma. All right. So this is where we are so far. As of right now, I have things all over the place. As I think most of us that start, or probably that do it on a regular, artboards kind of look. Um, Give me 1 second. Let's, okay. All right. Sorry about that. So, so here I have over here on the left side, I have my pages. I have my style guide, which this is my official first project in Figma. So you guys are getting the liberty of seeing that and seeing how my flow works with that. I'm still learning quite a bit and it's exciting. So yeah, I made my sitemap to get an understanding of what is needed to be designed and what's needed in the entire project. As you can see, this was made in Miro. I just imported it into Figma. And as you can see, things are kind of wacky and somewhat out of place because I didn't just go through and make those adjustments on it. But anyhow, yeah. So this is my sitemap. This just pretty much is the layout that gives me a full floor plan of what pages is a necessity as a part of the project. Um, and what features is important also. So you can see like things like services and all that. let's see when things are all out of the way. Yeah, so I'll come back and do all that. And that's the phase that I'm in now. It's cleaning everything up for the most part, finishing up some last mobile layouts. Typically, I know in most videos you see on YouTube, I know that I've seen in most YouTube videos, they typically say start with desktop, and that was just my nature anyway of starting with desktop design. Although most users for the tool that I'm building out is mostly on small devices, nano devices like cell phones and tablets or whatever or whatnot. But I still focus on the desktop version because I believe that's where a lot of the exchange of uh, information on a bulk load starts. The mobile devices mostly, use cases, right? So with that being said, I have a hero section that I made sure that I put in my sitemap. That's only on the backside. As you can see, I didn't put it in the lineup over here, but it's on the backside because that's important for me to design a typical standard hero section, which I didn't put in my style guide. I'm not gonna say I don't, as though this is my several project. Again, this is my first project, right? So I just put hero here, but I can remember that I need to design that as a component. That's one of my main components I need to design. So it's part of my sitemap. A comprehensive key code database. These are the features that I need to make sure that I focus on, key features anyway. The key code database is something I need to build out on the development side. It's important. It's one of my MVPs. 24/7 emergency access, expert support, all of those things, right? And whatever features you want to have, that's what you want to keep in mind. All right, so, and then I have the membership tiers page, which is all of these are going to be pages of itself, except the hero section, of course. That won't be a page, it'll just be a section or component. Features will also be a section. The membership tiers will be a page, right? And so I will have a starter plan on that page, a professional plan, an enterprise plan. Those would be the ways that I break it down, just to kind of simplify. So I use the sitemap on Miro to kind of simplify everything into a visual aspect instead of being so detailed. So as you can see, like in the example, membership tiers, I have more than 3 membership tiers, but I wanted to break them down in simplest form. Therefore, the navigation is easy. It's a easy process for a person that's coming into it the first time. For me, I understand the backside, the front side of what's needed, especially as a locksmith. So I can just imagine someone who's just starting. So I wanted to dumbify everything, like I said, that way. I wanted to dumbify everything. So I'm just gonna make some little small changes, but testimonials is another thing. That's another component. As you can see, nothing else stems off from it. It'd be almost like a hero section. It's something that's important that I make sure that it's created. Footer, of course, we all know we gotta have a footer. So yeah, footer is gonna have quick links, contact information, social media icon. Those have their own branches because those have to be created within their cell and custom information, also the quick links. Then, of course, out in the head, I skipped around and started from the top, but it typically would start here. We start at the home. This will be our first intro point to coming to the site. And it changes to that. It is looking wacky. Wacky. Yeah. So yeah, you start here at home, and then you will either have the options to go to any of these pages, which would be membership tier, services, Kiko Help Platform, About Us, the blog, and the Community Hub, and Contact, right? So those would be those pages. Services, I have these main services that we offer. Yeah, so I'm not going to go through everything because it's not the idea of my project. I just wanted to show you guys how I am learning my workflow, right? Through Figma all the way to full project build out. And this video again is just spot on, just on the spot. I didn't do any pre-planning, any notes. I don't even have an editing idea of how I will come back and edit it after, but I just thought, hey, let me record my learning process with Figma. As a noob, I'm a novice. This is my first time doing my first live project anyway. So I'm say it that way. When I say live project, not really that I'm live on video, but I am working on a real project behind this. And yeah. I don't want it to really be perfect, but I don't want it to be a sore to the eye either. I'm gonna just go ahead and make some of those changes while I see it. We got time, right? You gotta just hear this to kind of see what's going on around here. I don't expect too many of you to stick around and watch the entire, video. Just like I said, spot on video. Just me learning and going through the process with Figma, which is an awesome app or software, if I must say. I think it was very creative and very smart. I wish they would make the mobile version more intuitive, meaning where you can do some edits and a little bit more. I guess I'm spoiled with my Z Fold, which gives me like mini laptop capability. I can understand somebody else who's using a smaller device. They wouldn't want to be working on it too much. But for me, I can use something like, you know, where I can do full edits and changes, whatever, whatnot. So yeah, this is my sitemap. This is pretty much one of the main components to give me an idea of what I need to flow through no matter what I'm looking at. This is the logo, of course. I keep that close in style guide, just to kind of give an idea. I don't have a team that I'm passing this off to, so this is the way that I've learned through some of the self-taught courses. In the manner of you having a team, like a development team. I am the development team. I am the coder, so I will be doing my full project from full stack position from the start to finish. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be some time. We'll be able to come back to this later and like, whoa, this is progress, right? So yeah, that's what this is about. Um, anyhow, so I have my fonts and color styles that I put together that I want to use. I used the reference online, a website that a friend of mine referenced, a graphic designer, um, to find my color theme. There are some sites and generators you can use to put together some themes. I recommend using that. That helps to make sure that you just don't have any far-fetched colors or things that don't blend well. That's what I had to learn. It's about this, color theme gives off certain feels and certain aspects. And so I wanted to kind of simplify that. I typically don't use this color, but because again, I am redesigning Kiko Help within its own. I chose this theme, and I thought it kind of fits around the logo for the most part. So yeah, let's look at that. So I have my light green, which I didn't include in that because it's too much. I thought in the logo is enough. That's my favorite, of course. If you know me, you know. And then so the key color, of course, I kind of try to shade that off with the yellow. And then the black is always a good choice. Um, and then, the blues. I have a lighter blue, then I have a darker blue, right? And the grays, two shades of gray, right? So I thought those would work. And I was kind of contemplating the other night as I went to a site, a source I found on shout outs to threads. You find so much information on threads, right? Um, so I went to a site, which matter of fact, let's see, maybe I can pull it up. let's see. So, let's get to it. Save, oh, and here we are. And what is it? I think it was, fine. Let's see. See if I can bring it up in the screen. Wait 1 second. Okay. Okay. There you go. So let's let's change. I'm looking for. I'm going to share to you. So yeah, uh, curated.design is an inspiration site, web design inspiration catalog, where you can find just different designers, different ideas for different components, tools, anything in web design and development, right? I found this source through someone on Threads. Shout out to them. Thank you for that. That was pretty dope. Um, this and the list of things was on the list, but this is the one that caught my attention and gave me the inspiration to consider having black as a theme, a black background theme as such. It's pretty nice these days. I think it pops out pretty catchy. So it's definitely something I'm considering, right? 'Cause I like the way that pops, right? You see that? Now I do understand white is the new common thing, the new common factor for most pages. It also pops out on white, you know. White is never a bad choice, but I think it's general nowadays, right? White space, white space, white space, white space, right? All right. But I also think like the dark color thing is pretty popular. Like, look how the pictures pop, their words, even the images. I mean, you can still slide in, white space, like they did here. I thought that was pretty cool, right? I'm looking for something similar to that degree. Got that flows. I like that, right? So yeah, this site was pretty cool. Curated.design, right? Uh, kind of gave me inspiration. I just thought I'd share that. That's something that I'm considering in the mix of planning this. So back to it. Anyhow, so the color theme, this is where I got my color choice from. Um, my font, I like Gilroy. Recently, that's been my choice of use quite often. So I'm using main theme primary is Gilroy, bold. Uh, and the other themes of I have several different variants of Gilroy already saved on the computer and uploaded into the Figma library. That's the beautiful thing about Figma. You can use once you upload it to your computer, you can just easily access them um, without having to upload them again. So then H2, I'm using and just kind of laying out uh, the style, right, of my font. And so I have H1, H2 parameters for my text. And then body text is Montserrat regular. So Montserrat regular is something I did a research when I got the source from a friend of mine about the color theme and just looked for font theme generator sites. And so I just paired the closest font that is similar or that matches with Gilroy, and it gave me Montserrat, and I wasn't opposed to it. So I chose that, and I used Montserrat regular as my body text. And my button text is Gilroy medium, and as you can see, they look how they are here on this one, and then here on the darker blue and the lighter blue secondary button. Placeholder text, same way. That's a Gilroy. The label, those Gilroy medium, pretty decent size, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, so 20. It's a 20. All right. So I also just made the circles with the theme of my colors for my icon, inactive, primary, secondary, navigation bar. So navigation bar, you're gonna see I changed it. I'm using a yellow in one of my instances of my lo-fi because I was playing around with the color theme, just trying to see what looks best. I think I'm gonna go with this blue while I'm looking at this video. That just kind of came back to my mind. So yeah, so that's that. I made the font color style on a frame. This is framed within itself. Um, so yeah, if you want to know what that means, so if I were to wipe that away, it takes away everything. But initially, this started by itself, like yeah, yeah. So like that, right? I started designing it, putting together, opening open space. But once you're done with everything, you want to frame it off. And so I already have a frame, but what you would do is press F and you get the plus sign, you just draw a box, and that'll give you a frame. You can name the frame, whatever you're gonna name it, go from that, right? So yeah, that's that. All right, so we're not doing a tutorial. I'm just gonna go and flow through, just showing a couple things that I learned and I'm excited about. So excuse me if I kind of wander off the showing some things. Spacing, another thing that I've always kind of struggled with in mind because I'm like, how do they know, where to place things? How do they know how much space goes in between this button or this palette of card or whatever? So I finally figured it out. You make your own spacing graph based on the intervals. Most use 8, as you can see. 8 is a standard from what I've learned. It's a standard around. You got 6, 8. Some people use 12 intervals, but we're using 8. And in this instance, we're using a distance from width, and we're using the 2. So we started with 4 here, 6 here, 8, 12, 16, all the way out, right? So that's space in between, depending on the size of whatever the component is, or, that's where the 48 comes in, the 40, 32, all the way up. So this is how we determine our spacing. Also, I tend to use the grids, which helps also, but I still follow this within the grids. For the most part, I try to and adhere to that. And that's just to keep you consistent with layout from what I've finally learned. And that's what I've struggled with through numerous web design projects, just drag and drop. I come from that world of things. So it's kind of brutal learning, positioning and margin spaces and so much when you're just dragging and dropping and just using the eye, to design a page. So yeah, it's been fun learning. Typography, hold up, nope. Let's go to icons. So yeah, good example. And I'll come back to uh my font and my style guide for my typography. All right. Icons. So I wanted to go here first because this was a good example of with it not being in the frame. I simply love Figma because with these icons, there was already a library that you can go to over here and you can find and import whatever you need. Like You can find a plugin to give you different types of icons. So I found one that was in the community library and brought it into the project, and this is that, right? So it has all of the icons that you would typically see standard wise, just basic icons, nothing funky, nothing too crazy. So not that I would use all of them, but you want to have them accessible, right? And have an idea of what you're going to use. But once you drag something like this in and you're using it or you're designing it, you want to frame it out, because it only makes it easier, to assess it. I'm going to turn that field into gray so we can see everything in it. But you want to, frame it out, and it just makes it easy to assess it in between different pages, right? So this is my style guide. It would usually have more in it, but I broke this project down because it's a complex project. And again, this is my first project, so it's kind of all over the place, right? So personas. Personas. We're not going to go too deep in depth with personas, but it is important for what I've learned and what I'm learning UI, UX. You want to have a clear view and understanding throughout the design process, and which I do anyway. I want to keep it in mind of who I'm designing for and why I'm designing certain things, and not just, for my own taste and liking. I want to make sure I cater to the people that I want to use it, right? So that's where personas come into place. And so just some of the things that I do, I found this on Figma also, so I am going to show a little bit of it. Figma has a generator that you can use to generate personas. Just do the same thing up here, type in personas, and you'll get different plugins, right? I think, yeah, that is the one I use, the QO.ai. There's a bunch of other ones, but this is the one I use just to kind of simplify things, right? I already had personas drawn up in Google Documents that I've done my research on over time and just created for my project and my business. So not to go too much into the research, we're going to just show what it would look like and what I'm using to build out this project. Right? So user persona Michael Johnson, right, will be one of my customers, my standard personas that would use the service that I'm building out for. He will be the age of 45. He's a male, he's a dealership service manager. And I kind of just listed out some of the things like his tasks, activities, touch point channels, and his attributes and thoughts, opportunity and features. And yeah, so that's that. And on each, what I do is, let's get that off. I made little stickies where the generator made little stickies. I didn't make stickies, but it summarized it up in stickies, to simplify everything, which I have more information in this. So it would have been very detailed and long if I would have designed it, right? So the generators come in handy. It put some of his things that he does in his role, his perspective of work as a service manager, right? He assign tasks and monitor progress of the service technicians. He coordinate with parts department to ensure timely availability of required car parts. He communicate with customers regarding the vehicle status and update. He handles customer complaints and resolve issues, right? So those are a few things, just to kind of, I'm not going to go through all of them, but those are a few things I want to keep in mind while I'm building out this project, and what I'm building, right? Specific. So all the way down, I just have different styles of customers. I have ladies in a different position, independent locksmith, a tow operator, and fleet manager. And you can go as many as you want. I try to simplify things more now because I tend to go so complex when I am designing and creating things. So I want to make this as simple as possible, for my first project. So I only picked 4. I do have more, but I try to stick with 4 of those, right? Now, components. This is where it gets a little bit more creative. This is where you will come in and where I put most of my main components that I'm using to theme out this project. This is where I kind of started getting the idea together, what I want what to look like. You can see where I have some cards here that were put together, and I decided to use. The only variant difference is the button location for the most part, but I've used this in the design, in my lo-fi design or whatever. Here's one card, a single card by itself, that I wanted to have. This would be my chat button that I created. So I put that together. And then this is my fonts that should also be on my style guide. But as you can see, I didn't put it there. So we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna go to style guide and I'm gonna actually post this here. So my entire fonts would be here. So this is my fonts in full depth of font weight. These are all Gilroy styles. This is a heavy style. It'll be 7.2 point. This would be my heading 0 sample. This would be my H1 at 48. It's an extra bold. And this would be my 32, which is a bold, and all the way down. Different variants of Gilroy and different size formats that I choose to use. I didn't go no less than 16. I actually did go less than 16. I went 12 just as an extra. So I noticed I needed it, but I didn't add it here. But yeah, so you get it. That's that. Let's go back to components. My comparison chart that I put together, I wanted to use for memberships in mind, stuff like that. Then the mobile landing, this was my idea of kind of just drafting out what I wanted it to look like per se. It doesn't quite look like that, but yeah, this was my digital sketching of things. Um, and with that in mind, I'll come back and grid this out to fit the format of what I'm using anyway to build out the website. 1, 2. I got 4 there. Okay, I didn't know that. Good. We're gonna go with 6. I'm gonna go with 8. That might have screwed me up a little bit, but whatever. We'll fix that later. So yeah. This is how I was sketching and just getting an idea of the flow of things and where things could go and what kind of components. Um, so I started that way, and then also started tinkering around with headers, just learning how to do auto formats and creating components that can be reused. This is where I kind of got to that, right? And so with that in mind, bring that down here. Dang, right. All right. So yeah, let's get that together the way that it's supposed to be. There we go. All right. So yeah, putting things auto layout, being able to swap things out like that, as such. That's what I was learning with that. And then as you can see, I had those components by themselves. Just getting an idea. The little box my placeholder for was my placeholder for logo before I actually started bringing in components. Uh, yeah. So and then this was my header. Like I said, the color I changed, and I am going to, while it was on my mind, go ahead and change that back to the blue, right? That I said we're going to use for now on, which is the primary blue. And I'm going to make some other additional changes later. Well, for now, we're gonna change that to blue. And so, yeah, that's that, where I was messing with my header. This is where I was coming up with my UI, lo-fi flow, my user interface, ideal flow of things. As you can see, the same as the mobile layout that you seen earlier. Um, some idea of what I wanted buttons to look like, the home page layout, footer location, just giving me an idea of where I wanted things to locate, right? Nothing specific, nothing pretty. As you can see, everything's ugly. Um, why is it showing like this? I'm not sure. It's showing very weird right now. But just in a retrospect, this was a diagram put together in Miro that kind of gave me a flow idea of what I wanted things to look like as a user comes through the pages. And this is what I also used my site map for. I don't know why it's showing like it's out of pixel. It's showing weird. But yeah, so that's that. Um, this was a practice. This was me making a box, following along video, doing auto format, as you can see where um, the date stays in place and moves with it. It's responsive, responsive design. So yeah, that was this, me learning that. And then again, my icons, which is in a frame of its own. My bottom navigation is what I put together and use, throughout the design process, which I'm gonna go ahead and add that to it. Sure that it is. Oh yeah, so that's a variant. I'm not gonna bother with that. So yeah, these are my components. This is my component page. Of course, there are a lot more components I'm using that I just so happen didn't drop into this. I will do that because before I close out this project, I want to make sure everything is in place. Uh, I want to make sure everything is in place and that um, I got a clear cut understanding of what I'm using in the entire project before I start building out inspiration. This is where I came with some of other pages that are similar to what I'm building out to give me inspiration and keep me along a guideline of staying in mind of what I'm building and why I'm building it. This is what I use with that. Before I had a lot of other things in here that were just all over the place. I deleted that and wanted to clear it up. These are actually some competitors. I would say they offer some of similar things, the tools that I'm building out. So I added them into my inspiration. They're actually also building out in the market. So yeah, just the flow of what their site would look like is all I wanted to keep in mind, and how simple their sites are. So that's this, the basic. Yeah. So yeah, pretty clean cut. That's what I like. They kept the same format, a similar format that most sites are keeping. Straight down the middle grid, font. Everything is aligned down the middle for the most part. Clear, section and price lists, of course. And basic, pretty basic. Everybody keeps the same format, right? A lot of databasing. I'm very excited to kind of start the learning process of getting into programming and potentially learning databases. That's going to carry me in this project until I can get a team, right? That's what inspired me to get into this in deep depth is, having to build out things myself, right? I'm a builder and I like to build things from scratch. So with that inspiration, uh, those are my two sources, curated, the site that I took you guys to, and then I use that page also. So yeah, let's go to lo-fi website. This will be my page was supposed to be my lo-fi for desktop, right? So I was gonna have a page for a lo-fi desktop by itself that I was gonna design out and build out, and then I was gonna have a page for hi-fi website prototype. Uh, This is where I jumped ahead and kind of started. Of course, it all changed. This is what it currently looks like with Kiko.help. Um, I wasn't opposed to it, but I wanted to have more control of design. This is a standard Wix uh, style of a layout. And so I'm not too far off with what I'm redesigning. That's the great thing about it. I just want to have more functionality to it. So this is what's here for now. It's kind of similar to what I'm doing already. So it's not too far off. But it would definitely be a lot different than this. It would definitely be a lot different than that. All right. So yeah, even just looking at that 4 sections, yeah. So I would clean that up, and I would make all the adjustments to it to fit within the parameter of the grids and the layout that I'm sticking to for the most part. But this is what I had just based off what it is now, right? So this will be where I come back in and do the hi-fi phase um, of the website prototype, and then I will have um, a mobile of that. That mobile will be a hi-fi. Also, if I were to use this, as you can see, I started in it. Oops, let's go back. All right, wrong thing. Shortcut. Yeah, so I started in it. I started laying out some things and playing around with the date box. As you can see again, I was just messing around with that. Just learning through the class that I've started taking up. But yeah, that was cool. And so I would design here the mobile, but I skipped through that. And as you can see, I ended up coming here where a majority of my project started and resolved. And so let's dive into what's here. I got my sitemap again, brought it in. This is where I had already cleaned up everything. I got an idea that I was like, hey, you know what? Let's really get an idea of what navigation would look like. So this is why I came with the landing page. We're going to always have them enter through the landing page, and then they're going to go to a home page, and then they can go to services or membership tiers, whatever page they'll from that they can access, right? Again, we got the hero page and all the way down, all of the pages in deep depth. My spacing I have here, my header, also I have here that I started using throughout this design, as I was saying earlier, but I'm gonna make some changes to that because I seen something that I just wanted to test out. So yeah, wondering why did that start doing that? That's crazy. I'm gonna have to reload that, but that would be my flow chart also that I brought over from Miro. I don't know why it's showing that way. But yeah, so that is the flow chart. That's how they would come in. Um, they would come in from the landing page, of course, first, then the home page, which would take them to a loop that they can either become a member or they can be a guest or sign up as just a member alone or get premium features, whichever one. So it's just a loop explaining what that process looked like. Um, 3 different ones, but depending on the user and what they choose, and then the full sitemap in a different depth of flow versus the one you see with all the colors, right? My display component, so it's just all type of things around it. I started creating, designing, and using in the project process. I just brought it all into one page. Back to my comparison, my cards that you seen earlier, some other cards that I started using, even some that I designed out. And then again, the navy bars, which I need to change, because I think this is the one that I started using. If I'm not mistaken, this is the one I started using. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and change it out. And with changing it out, I'm probably gonna have to change the icon colors and fonts, which is not a problem. So yeah, we are. We're gonna change the fonts to white, right? Why not? Let's change the font, right? Everything, we're gonna push it to white, just for the sake of it, right? And that's gonna make it more viewable to the viewer's eye, right? All right, so that's the change we've made. All right, so yeah, I wanted to see what it looked like on all of those. So yeah, changed it all to blue, to the dark blue. Actually, just looking at that, getting an idea. I'm not opposed to if it was even black. Like I said, I was considering if I wanted to use black, just solid black, right? Instead of blue. Blue is cool. I'm not opposed to the blue, but it's a little dark and off of it. So I think I might go with the black and white. Right? Starting off. And then we'll make some changes here and there in between. But just for now, we're going with the black and the white. Might even let the yellow stay, right? I might. All right, so yeah, all of the components, as you can see, when I made that change to this up here, it changed on everything down here, which is another cool feature with Figma. So yeah, a bunch of other things, bulletins, um, footer, terms and conditions, testimonies, everything that I've kind of designed out is here. This is where majority of my project ended up, started. So yeah, here, this is where I've been working at. This is what I have learned so far and have been implementing. Um, so this is the current layout. For those of you that look at this, this is what cheat code help would look like in a nutshell. And I'm just working out the full um, dimensions of everything and everything fully fitted. Make sure everything is all placed where it's supposed to be placed and nothing is out of whack. As you can see, some things are not oriented in the right places. So yeah, you gotta make those adjustments, right? All right, so now it looks like everything is in place for the most part. Of course, I still see this tab up here, which I'm not sure. Okay, there it is. That's fine. All right, so yeah, this is where we are. I have this in one frame right now. This is where I drug everything to go ahead and start designing out the mobile side of things, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm just taking and making it responsive, placing everything where I want it to go, as far as in the mobile side, and using grids to make sure everything flows and have some consistency, which again, I struggle with. Um, there are some things here that you can see that still need some adjustments, but I'm just going through slowly and making those changes, right? And just placing everything where it's supposed to go. So yeah, that's this process I'm in now. And then I also started relabeling things, and this is kind of where I ran into my issue, which I think I figured it out. I have everything in one frame, so when it came down to prototyping, I was going to do a prototype of it, which can allow you to create a flow for things. I wasn't able to because I believe everything is here in a everything is here in one frame. So the page that I want to let things flow to, per se, like an example of this, it doesn't show up here. All right. So I will have to take them out and allow them to be on a page of their own, which is cool. So yeah, I had to slow down, take a step back, instead of jumping ahead like I tend to do sometimes, and just go ahead and finish designing out all of the remaining more mobile pages from the desktop pages. So yeah, here I'm on my second row and phase of pages. I have 3 rows, as you can see. These are the main. This is the main flow of things where they will come in through a landing page, home page, memberships, and then the process of them getting started all the way down to checking out, thank you page, right? And then here is where they will be logged in. These will be some of the pages they can access from that. It's just to give an idea of the flow of what the site will look like. That's the purpose of Figma, is making sure you plan out well and gracefully. They've extended their purpose now, in my opinion, with allowing us to have the plugin to take these exact layouts that we're creating here, your own custom layouts, and you can export this into Wix website. So if you're coming from the drag and drop world, that's even much of a plus. Um, and if you just so happen to have a skill and understanding of UI and UX, that gives you a huge advantage. So you can take these designs and now you can just convert it over. I haven't done it yet, so I'm looking forward to do that with this project, see how well that works. but it definitely is exciting to be able to skip going into redesigning this same process in Wix all over again. You would have to know the tools, you would have to understand padding to a deep depth, and it just takes a lot of hours of time. But this plugin is huge in mind, theory, and thinking. I've seen some people talking about it, so it sounds like it's working. And we're going to get there to try it out. So for now, that's why it's important to do the layout and make sure everything is in the right place. That's what I'm spending the next couple of days on doing, because as you can see in this process and what we're going to go through, it takes time. It definitely takes time. But they say great things. Great.
Things take time. That's what they say.
But we're gonna continue to have some fun.
And get back to our normal selves, right? All right, so what I'm doing and what I figured out, a nice flow that I'm excited about, I'm be honest, not even 2 weeks ago, I didn't know how to flow through Figma this way. So it's pretty cool, pretty fun. It's 5 o'clock my time. I've been on this task for majority of the day. And I don't plan to stop until I get to a certain phase of it. So, and I'm enjoying it, right? Hopefully you are enjoying just watching me do it. So yeah, let's go and start with the, yep, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up, let's make sure, let me take that off. Yeah, there we go. All right, I was trying to take that off of my voice. And so I take and started with the first part, which is the top, the navigation, of course, which is different than my home, but it's similar to a point. But I started here with the theme, which is our services, took it over here, dropped it, and then I took the main services that I know that we offer, which are here, then the key code search, pin code, and so forth, and just dropped them here. And tools and calculations was where I stopped. That's where I'm going to go ahead and take this component, and I am going to make this component fit here per se, right? It went back over here. It tends to do that sometimes. And then we're going to bring that above so we can see that. I'm going to open up my plugin that I was using, my auto layout style, and see if it's going to make some adjustments to this for me, which it didn't. Let's see, maybe if I select them each. Did that do it? I don't think that did it either. I didn't do it. Let's do one more thing. So I use a couple different plugins just to see if I can accomplish what I want to do. And as you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Right? But just for the sake of it, we're gonna go ahead with the flow of things. And we can work it out from that. All right. So I'm just gonna pull everything in to the space of where I want it. And kind of try to get everything to match the guidelines of what I'm using. There was one more. Yep, there. Let's see, what is this? Okay, so yeah, drag that there. And then what is that? That there. that one there. That's that right there. Do some sliding, some changes. That's what's going to happen. That right there. So as you can see, it's pretty cool to be able to follow along with the grid lines. I'm just trying to place everything within a certain fitting. Make sure everything is properly located, right? It's kind of off a bit. I'm gonna bring it down some, a little bit. How about there? Yeah. All right. So as you can see, it's coming along, and everything should have its place. I can actually bring these down a little bit. Probably about there. Just see how it looks, how I want it to flow, the view. All right. I like to check that. All right. So all I'm doing is following along with the grids that I put in place to make sure I keep some consistent flow in my design process. So yeah, I got the tools and calculations there, and then I will probably put more coming soon, or actually I'm not gonna put the coming soon. I'm gonna put these there as well, how I did the others, right? So let's take copy. They're gonna go here in this space. We're gonna bring them up. I am going to shrink this down. Actually, no, we're going to keep it first. And then we're going to take and do our responsive, make it responsive first. And then I am going to add, see if I can make the changes there. There we go. He did it the way I wanted to do it in the first place. Ooh, see how that worked out? So I'm not going to even bother with that. We're going to leave that like it was and just center it that way, right? So yeah, so that made it a ton easier. I'm gonna stretch it out some so I can get room to stretch these out like that. So it got more space and distance. All right. All right, so yeah, that made it a ton easier. All I had to do was hit the responsive button, and it made it to where it shrinks, which is pretty cool. All right. Um, so, and then now what we're going to do is I've already made this in the format here, my footer. Um, Mobile footer. Gonna label that real quick. I only need that part. I don't need the frame itself. So I'm gonna just select that. And we're gonna take our footer over here and drop him into that. Right? Now, I'm gonna make sure he's on top of it. Which, which I don't know if it's even so yeah, it's not in the project itself. Let's see if I can make that change. Okay. So, yeah, now it is in the project, right? Oh, didn't mean to do that. So what I did was I copied it and just pasted it under that frame just to give it its look. All right. So now that we have that, I took that just for the sake of it, but if I stretch it out, you can see the rest. See that? All right. All right. So yeah, so it's very responsive. And I'm gonna actually keep that at the bottom, just in case. Yeah. So now y'all can see that. That ain't gonna work. All right. So yeah, did a little bit too much there. So now that we have that out the way, I'll go ahead and I do need to move that up a bit. I gotta add my navigation, right? Let's go ahead and do that. The option on Mac. Let's put it in place. Where's it to go? That's fine. That's fine. I had to change the edges so that this can fit spot on. Somewhat anyway. There we go. All right. Now, so yeah, that's how I'm pretty much doing that. So that page will be done. This would be my mobile. There you go. This would be my our services mobile. All right. Where I'm taking it to, and it's right here, right next to the original. All right. So yeah, that's done and out the way. All right. So now I'm gonna go to the next page, slide them over a bit, and I'm gonna bring in the same component that I've been using. Click off that first, bring it in. That's gonna be him, right? Same one. Let's go ahead and change that to 16. Change those edges because we know we want our edges to be 16. This for now. Go ahead and stretch it out. Pull it down. All right. go ahead and take the main components we know that we gotta have, which is gonna be my header. Oh, bring it back. Let's go back to that. Bring it forward. There. All right. So we got that. Let's go ahead and bring in, which I usually wait, but I'm gonna go ahead and drag it over here for now. Just to get it out of the way. Like that. We're gonna put it under that. This is our frame, and this is gonna be, what page is this? Pico Help Platform. Pico Help Platform Mobile. All right. All right, so we labeled it, we have it labeled as Pico Help Platform. We are now going to start moving things over. Actually, let's start by turning on graph and throwing the graph, the grid on here, our main. That way we can organize him, and then also here on the mobile. That way we can make sure everything is staying in its respective place, right? All right, so what we're doing, I'm also cleaning up the mobile while I'm adjusting the mobile. I'm adjusting the desktop too to make sure everything is in its respective places, right? And when I do that, I'm just pretty much going in, come on, and making sure that everything is lined up to the grid. By doing that, you really just make sure you stay consistent with the flow and placement of everything, right? And that's all I'm doing. I want everything just all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They both need to have 6. Yeah, so yeah, 6. All right, so that's pretty much how I am laying out the website. Go ahead and get these things together. Let's see if that works. Do it. I can still compile everything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and select everything over here and free it all up. All right. Once I do this, there, I can make the changes I need. All right, so let's go ahead and put you where you supposed to go. There. So that's in place where it's supposed to be with that. All right. There. That in place. Ooh, there's not really anything to do. All right, so as you can see, I'm just adjusting the sections and the grids and everything to fit this format. So now I was looking to do okay. So I can separate everything now on its own. Okay. So gonna make some little adjustments here. Gonna make this button fit. Gonna be so wide. If we shrink it down some more, we're gonna take this and center it. Go ahead and shrink it down to that. And that's pretty decent size of a button. And we're gonna take this and raise it up, get it up off the button a bit. And I actually don't mind shrinking that down to here, and then the same here. Actually, nope. I want to give it some space to spread out a little more. So I'll do it that way, and we're going to center it right. Just to give it that type of feel and flow. So yeah, we got that key code verification here, which is fine. That's also fine. I'll actually take that off a bit. Uh, take it off too. Yeah, give it the same on each side. All right, so I'll make this a fill-in button. All right, change that to white, and then add an auto layout to it. That way it goes to where it's supposed to be positioned. And so yeah, now we got that. That'll be where they can verify their key code if they needed to. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah. So let's bring that down a bit. Definitely have to be that high up. And then we can also bring them to down a bit. Let's see. They are there. A little bit more line height. Nope, not there. Do that. Let's zoom out a bit. Let's see. I can actually shrink that some more. And I think I am. That down. That side. It looks a lot better. And we'll do the same thing here. Turn it to the fill color. We're gonna add an auto layout. Change it to white. Oops, that didn't happen. We're gonna change the wrong thing. Make sure we're on the right thing. Change that to white. Alright, so yeah. We're just cleaning it up, getting everything together before we transfer it over to the mobile, right? As you can see, some things are still kind of out of whack, like this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn our grid back on. So we can adjust things in their respective places. Let's select all three of those, free them up from their arrested state. Call it arrested state. Go ahead and slide you over where you're supposed to be. Give you your two blocks. It's 2, 4, 6. Each one is gonna have 2 blocks. As I figured. Go ahead and fill them in where it's supposed to be. 2 blocks. Supposed to be like that. Same thing here. That's supposed to be there. And then this one supposed to be there. Right? 2 blocks. Like that. There we go. Everybody's supposed to have their own respective places, right? Stay in your lane. Everybody just stay in their lane. Everything will be all right, right? Sounds realistic, huh? So to say, let's go ahead and clean it up. The rest of it, there. All right, all right. So I just made a few adjustments to that. Okay. Let's go ahead and free them up. Up. Let's do something real quick. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Go ahead and move it on my own. Somewhere like here. Take you up. Just all these to sit alike. Right? Screw that up. When I say screw it up, I'm pretty much just breaking it out of this brackets to where I can move it where I want to move it. I can say it that way. So yeah, pretty much have everything where I want it to be. Off a little bit. Nothing here. All right. Yeah. It's pretty much keeping a basis for everything to go. Uh, and so I'm not really opposed to that. I am going to slide this over a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. You can actually detach that. And then select everything here. Go ahead and get it out the way. So it don't give me no problems. And what do you have? What do you feel? There. We're just gonna give it its respective space and entirety, right? All right. So we got that. We got everything in this potential space, right? Even down to the footer. Um, I'm going to cut that off. And let that remain the end of the page for that. So we got everything together. Everything is on the desktop phase in place. Now we can go ahead and working out transferring everything, right? So we're going to take this component, copy it, and take the whole component, copy it, place it over here. We're gonna bring it up. And I'm gonna bring this over. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, so we're good on that. Do I want it centered or do I want to leave it to the left? Let's see. Let's look at the consistency of our other pages. Most of it is to the left, some of it's centered. It just changes. I'm not opposed to either or. Mostly everything is centered these days, straight down the middle, right? But I'm trying to see what feel in particular am I looking to give. So I'm gonna put an auto layout on that, stretch it out, and I guess we'll leave it centered, right? And then I want it to be bigger because we need it to be proper. We want it to be the 72. Let's see. Because if we bring it to 72, it's going to be like that. And then I can center it like that. Or I can leave it to the left. If I want to center it, I'm going to go ahead and center that. All right. All right. So now that we got that there, we go help platform straight centered. We're going to take the entire thing. I can take, or I can chop it down into two. I think I'm going to break it down into two. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I'll break that down into two. So I'm going to take this side and I'm just going to select it like that. Take it over here. I'm going to drop it here. Although it does what it likes to do sometimes. And I'm just going to drop it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, oh, let's take it back. Let's go follow our steps we did the first time. Make sure that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. That. See if it's going to work right. Nope, it didn't. So whatever. Cool. We'll make the adjustment. We'll make the adjustment. We just, oh, that's not what we were trying to do. We'll just bring everything in like that. Don't worry. All right. All right. So I'm making it a habit now that I'm getting deeper in the project to go ahead and set things in place so I don't double work myself. So excuse me if I'm getting boring and just doing things, but yeah. So this is my idea of what I want it to look like and how I want the site to flow. All right. We're going to take our button, which is somewhat out of frame here, I guess. Figure out what frame is that. What frame is he out of? Just a minute. Okay, so we gotta figure out which frame. Okay, so we can try to slide some things down a bit. We're gonna try to slide some things down a bit, right? That way we can do some repositioning of some things. With that, it's tripping. Okay. Don't wanna work right for me today. Okay. All right. Give it a little space. Um, Go ahead and adjust this to where it's supposed to be. And give it a little space. Let's readjust this also. Six. All right. I'm just gonna continue the process of centering everything and moving everything. All right. We change that, let's center that, which is not quite centered, is it? No, that's more centered. All right. I'm kind of not opposed to that, stretching out like that, to that. I'm not opposed to it. Just to get my space off of that. All right, so yeah, we're just trying to make it fit into this frame here. All right, into this grid as well. So let's go ahead and shrink that down to fit our grid location. Same thing over here. My other computer keeps like, hey, you're not paying me no attention. So do we want to center that? Yeah, we're centering that. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that standard to how it is over there. Let's go ahead and go here. I'll do the same thing. Pull him over. Already freed up from his constraints. And I'm actually gonna leave them connecting like that. I'm not opposed to that at all. This, we definitely gotta adjust this too close to the other one above it. I'm gonna hold shift, take it down a bit, take it maybe 10, that good, not bad. Alright, so we're down to the bottom, which is gonna take quite a bit. And it's going to work. We're gonna try to see what I can do. Alright. A little progress here. Got 4. Those are the 4. Hmm. Okay. I do want to get all of them in, so I'm gonna just stretch it out for now. I'm gonna try something. So kind of lost the other one. Kind of weird. We definitely lost one. Tell you what, let's just do this. Let's just copy this one. Put it over here too. Oh, no, no, no. All right, sorry about that. Somebody was at the door and that was, I'm not gonna say random, because it wasn't random. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know about you guys, but I believe that wholeheartedly. But had somebody at the door just doing their job or their business, and he wanted to randomly pray for me. I say randomly because I used to just people, praying for you randomly. Um, and sometimes I'm weary of it. But I went with my first mind and my first heart, and which was to allow him to have his gesture. And we standing on the front porch in prayer, right? It was very different, very dope. As God works, right? I thought that was pretty dope and different. So yeah, that was cool. That actually excited me. And now she's calling, and it's too late. Too late. Too late to do anything. Not gonna bother. Not gonna bother. Not gonna bother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dum, 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 dum. All right, so that would have been the other two that I would have used, right? Oh, hey, what I was trying to do. These would have been the other two, right? So we're just gonna stick them over to the side, right? Because technically, I only need two here, two spaces, for the most part, to get my point across. I don't have to stick them all, so I'm not gonna stress it. My idea was to fit them in um, their place. Yeah, that's what the goal was, to get them in a decent place to where everything can, flow, right? And so far, it's not looking bad to me. Of course, there are more things and touch ups I want to do in between, but just for the floor thing, it's not looking bad, right? So we're gonna have that there. Okay, let's go back. Do that. We can stop that there. So that section knows to end there. And then this section knows to stretch down to here, to the end of here, right? All right. So kind of getting the gist of things, right? Just putting everything in its respective places. Boom, there. D. We're gonna move there, like that. I can actually, I think I'm gonna select all of these at once and operate with them at one time. All right. Go ahead and move them all like that. All right. And then for him, meaning I seen that he's stretched up, I'm gonna go ahead and stretch him out to his respective place. like that. Right. Now we got process with that. And actually, we're gonna take you up some to there. Same with these. We're gonna take these up. About there. And then this, which I don't know quite what it is. I'm actually gonna delete that because I don't know no use for it right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and drop a video aspect in, which needs to be adjusted apparently. And let's fix this to fit its screen. I want it to fit the entire screen, all my videos, pictures, as you can see. I want them to fit the entire screen. So let's take this up a bit so it's not sitting dead on it. Um, this, I actually can take this away because these things are actually going to be redundant. I can put it in the footer, right? So what I'm going to do instead is move this up. Not quite what I want, but let's move it up to here, right? All right, so I wanted to make sure those are still a component together. All right, so we got key code search, we got our video, and then we're gonna go ahead with adding our footer. We can go ahead and add our footer. And I'm already seeing something else I can do as an option. I'll see. Why does it look like it is? It's already there. Thought so. I think navigation was already there. Didn't notice it. Didn't notice it. But it's okay. We'll go ahead and make the changes we need to make. Oh, let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. Bring it up. And let's take this. Add you into the mix. And bring you up. Take it down. turn on flip the content. Do this. Go copy. Go to the main thing. Go V. That's not what I'm trying to do. That. Do that. There. Do that one. Actually delete that one. All right, so as you can see, it's not doing what I wanted to do with this one. I can't seem to get it. Oh, you know what? That explains it. Let's turn that into a frame first, and then let's take that, copy it. See if that makes a difference. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that made the difference. Yeah, it made a difference. All right. What is it? So, help that logo. All right. Alright, so I gotta do some changing of some frames and some stuff like that before I start the prototyping. I'm noticing a few things that's going on, but I will fix those things as footer is the only other thing that I allow to stretch all the way across. So yeah, those are gonna be a few things that I do. Make some changes to. There are a few things indeed that I need to. Okay, same way there, same way there, okay, same way there. All right. All right, so we got our footer. We got all of our components for the most part where we need them. Oh, actually, that's backwards. I'm gonna move that here. I'm gonna move that here. Okay. That should go here, and that should go here. Excuse me. So we're gonna do some lightweight changes here. Excuse me. Jeez, I know I didn't cut my other mic off, but you probably caught that one. My apologies. My apologies. Let's see about making these changes to this. Bring that up. Let's bring this up to here. And here. Let's see if we can squeeze it in without it looking all crazy. I don't think so. Like that. And like that. Might have pulled it off. I'm still gonna make some more adjustments here and there. Just spacing, you know. I do believe that can be a lot better. But I'm noticing something that I caught with my eyes earlier. I can position these a little different. Let's spread this out to there. I got more room that I can use, so why not? And we're simply just gonna take him, move him down, free him up, take him. We'll move him down out the way, and then just for the sake of this, I want to spread this to about there, 488. I try to keep everything to the intervals of 8. I do my best. I try my best anyway. We're gonna slide you over to where you're supposed to be in view. All right. So let's duplicate these instead of reinventing the wheel. We're just gonna duplicate these and bring them in like that. And actually, I can take this and this can go down here. All right. And these two can go up like that. All right. All right. So, and then I can even give him more space of his own by doing that, and then spacing this out more to 28. All right. Now everything is in its own little more space. And then we can take this up to here. All right, we got that. I can bring that down to 18, give it some space off of it. All right. And then user guides, I can actually just take these, slide them down a little bit. That's what I'm trying to do. Come on, dude. What is going on here? Get in here and let's do. Oh, that's what's going on here. You're not selected. They're being rebellious. All right, so boom. Now we got that. I noticed that it's not fully in its position. All right. So we're gonna go and take this because it don't belong up there. It actually belongs down here. We're gonna take it, put it down here. It belongs. All right. Boom. That's that. All right. Boom. All right. Now we got that. We was actually able to squeeze the rest of those on. I'm gonna do away with those because we don't need them anyway. All right, so that's coming good. I'll add more something here. Potentially, probably another video. And this might not be a video. This might be instead picture or some sort like a placement. But up here, I'm more than sure I will put a video, right? That'll be the intro video. And this probably be more of a picture or something, more than a video. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my picture placement and put it there, just for the sake of it. Move you. Put you there. Up. Fit you in. Remember, you're gonna go across the whole screen. That. You. Boom. Like that. All right. So we got a picture placement for that. Boom. I like that. All right. So we got some progress coming together. Looking good? Looking good. I would, what y'all, is it coming together looking like a layout, a flowing layout? I know it looks kind of crazy now. I spend a lot of time in the lo-fi phase, I'll be honest. For learning purposes and to make sure that I solidify the vision that I got in mind for this project. So I'll spend a lot of time in the lo-fi phase, probably more than the average. But again, this is my first project. Just trying to perfect it the best way I can, and making sure that I don't skip things like I tend to do. So it's beneficial that I go through this. It's teaching me not only how to use Figma, but it's teaching me the purposes of a lot of things too. So I'm noticing some things that I'm gonna go in and fix, like just looking at this from a different zoom. The bulletins need to come over and be aligned with the other ones and all the way down, right? All right, so boom, got that together. That. All right, so now we're on to the next, which is the dashboard. You go with help dashboard, right? Let's turn back on that. Let's go ahead and put layout grid, main. I know they already closed. I done missed them. Yep, closed. Ooh, men's barber cutting. All right, so in a few moments, I'm going to be ending this Zoom. And I'm going to be jumping in to another Zoom. But for now, let's do another one real quick. Go ahead and get started on it if we can. Go ahead and stretch that out here. Go ahead and put the mobile on it. Let's go ahead and label it and frame it. Dashboard. Mobile. Frame that. That way it is receiving placement of things the way we want it. Label it the right way. Up. That way. That ain't what I was trying to do. bottom. Okay, let's go and label that. Okay, now that we got that, keep them there. Yeah, not the same. There we go. Now we gotta figure it out. That's all I was trying to do. You don't really need it to be that way, but whatever. Not gonna worry about it. We're gonna leave it like that. All I was wanted to do was get the navigation to go in place, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Yeah, so yeah, it's cool. So now we got that in place. We got the top nav, which is that. And then we got the lower, the nav lower in place. Both of those are in place, right? All right, so with that, now I am going to take and start moving over the first thing is gonna be, what do I want? We're not gonna worry about these things over here. It's not a big problem. But we are gonna make our adjustments to the desktop as usual first. Go ahead and make the adjustments. In our grid. Should not be like that. Oh, I figured that. Let's go ahead and select both and put them both in their respective place. You can go there. That can go there. That can go here. Right? What's up with that? That's right. All right. So now we got some things in place. Set them all the way out the same way. Mm. I don't like them stacked on top of each other. All right, so we're gonna roll with it that way. Come on, dashboard. I can actually take this, and it probably should be up at the top. We're gonna take that like that, and we're gonna actually move that up here. All right. My bad. Can't leave you out. All right. So made that adjustment. I'm just doing some final touches. So I've got about 5 more minutes before I gotta jump off. I'm just gonna make these quick adjustments to the dashboard, which is minimal, not much. That I need to adjust. There are a few things like here, and actually good. That, and that down. All right, so yeah, it's not really bad. I'm not really mad at the layout of that. Opposed to it, actually looks pretty decent. What we got over here in the side menu on the desktop, over here we won't have any of that. That'll be here, and I'm thinking about changing that to the hamburger menu. But just for now, let's go ahead and get started on our first section that we can take. Or can I take the whole thing? Let's see. Let's try that. Let's give it a shot and see. Oop, wrong way. Zoom out. Let's see if we can take the entire thing. and make it responsive. Go with auto responsive first, make it responsive. It made it responsive first, so it looks kind of shakes things up a bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and make it layout style drop straight down. And yeah, so it does do for the basic of what I need, right? It's just pretty much taking things down, breaking them down a bit. All right, so with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on here. At least try to anyway. See if we can get it on here. And into place, see where it's supposed to go. All right. Let's see if I stretch it out. What happens? I do that. Let's come here, stretch out everything else. See what happens when we stretch it out more. Let's put that here. Okay, so let's start making the adjustments to every part, component per se. So we will make our adjustments. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and center everything up. Get everything looking tight, looking like it makes sense somewhere. Got that. Go ahead and center that the same way. Center it up. All right. And so we're gonna bring this up. This can come down, right? This is going on. He's still stuck in his constraints. Let's go and change that to big heading. Scale it up a little bit. We're going to scale it down just a little bit. Move all of these down a bit. Let's put this in position to where we want it. All right. So I think that's where we're going to stop. for today on the reporting, I am gonna go ahead and dive into Bible study. I think we're gonna stretch that out to where it has more, yep, more room like that. I'm gonna do it that way. That way it has more room to breathe. And I'm gonna bring you up here. Bring that over like that. So move that over. Make the adjustments to that. That. That over. Yeah. Now we can bring that down some. Somewhere right there. All right. So we got like 2 more minutes. And I gotta roll on to Bible study. And we will come back to this live later to give you guys an update to the progress, right? I think I'm gonna make this a wide element also. And then shrink this down a bit. So we're bringing everything back up to where it's supposed to be. And shrink everything up down to where it's not. Yeah, that's where the problem comes in. All right. Okay, as you guys can see, I tend to get hooked sometimes. I don't know when to stop sometimes. I'll keep going until I get things where I want it, right? I tend to do that a lot. I tend to do that a lot. So yeah. You see that? That's usually me trying to get to the perfection of things the way I want it, right? And as you can see, it can be some work. It's not as easy as you would think always, right? So that needs to go here. That one. Yeah, well, you're not showing. I'm just gonna put you over to the side for now. Want to leave it like that? Padding inside of a padding. And if I want it like that, I'll stretch it all the way up. A little bit further to here to give them a little bit more view. Why not? Stretch it up like that. Alright, so, all right, y'all. I'm out of here. I just wanted to do as much as I could. I think I did more than enough. It's 7:06. I'm actually late. I'm gonna stop sharing that. And so I'll catch you on the next session. Thank you for viewing. We will finish up and I'll catch you guys up on my progress later. Thank you for checking me out. Click the like button, click the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you see this video later, follow my pages. I have several of them. The Guru Talk to Mr. Guru is my main page. You can scan the QR down at the bottom. That should lead you to me here. That QR should bring you to me. If not, you can check me out here, YouTube, or either here, Instagram, whichever one. So yeah. And also, yeah, Facebook. I didn't include that one, the one by my head here. Thanks again. Catch you guys later.